Elizabeth Hubbard. I'm here today with Cynthia Beebe, who's the author of Boots in the Ashes. And we're just doing a little interview. I work for the bookstall in Winnetka. We were going to do an in-person, in-store event, which obviously got postponed. Cynthia, one of the most fascinating things to me in your book was the fact that you got to help out as Secret Service.
Okay.
So tell us about a time that you worked as Secret Service.
Well, we worked, ATF, we were considered a sister agency with the Secret Service when I first came on the job, and I did Secret Service details, assisting them for well over a decade. Two funny cases, I'll be quick. One was when I was just on the job, Dan Quayle had just been nominated for vice president for the first President Bush, and we were appearing in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, at a lovely small art museum. And there were a few hundred people in the audience. And I was at the podium. I was a Secret Service agent, but I was standing at the podium facing the crowd. And the woman who was assigned to greet Dan Quayle when he came around the corner, she was also a woman. So when Dan Quayle came around the corner, the first woman he saw was me. And he walked right up to me and stuck out his hand to shake my hand. And I could see his handlers in the back, grimacing and shaking their heads. But I thought, I cannot ignore the vice presidential nominee. So I shook his hand and I kind of nodded to the correct woman. And Dan Quayle, to his great credit, he handled it beautifully. He transitioned right over to this other woman. I stayed at my post. I did my job. He handled his part beautifully. So it was just kind of a fun moment where, nowadays, I don't think that would have happened, but it was so unusual to have a woman Secret Service agent at the time that for him to come around the corner and think, oh, that's a Secret Service agent, instead of the woman assigned to greet him, what happened made perfect sense back then.
Thank you. That's a great story.